Andrew Schulz had on Bernie Sanders on his show recently. And I think Bernie generally does a great job when he goes on like the Bro-y podcast.
I personally think that Bernie is a total, subversive. I don't even think that he believes in his socialism like he calls it. I think he just wants to stick one to like rich white men, but not necessarily the elite donor class or whatever people are calling them these days. I seriously do feel like that. With that said, this is Kyle Kulinski going to get annihilated by his own words because, I don't know how you could be this deep into the content and still not understand what's going on with the content. But, yeah, I appreciate everybody who puts out the work that they put out. So, with that said, without further ado, please let's go ahead and we will get to the clip. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos. Let's go.
He finds a way to make leftism palatable to people who otherwise are snuggling up to the right these days. I have some critiques of how he handled that interview here and there. But broadly speaking, positive impact overall. Okay, so since that podcast, clearly Andrew Schulz has been thinking about some of the stuff he's been saying. And Charlemagne, of course, host on The Breakfast Club. He also fills in for The Daily Show from time to time. They're having a conversation here about politics, and I did not have this on my bingo card, the stuff that they end up saying here. Let's watch. Listen to this.
You know what the reflection is, and Bernie said it on Flagrant. Everybody's to fucking blame. This ain't a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing. This is government has failed the people. We live in a capitalist society where you got all of these motherfuckers with all the wealth. Elon Musk has more wealth than more than half of the bottom of America. Like, come on. Like, there's no way we live in a society that claims to be the most wealthiest society on the planet and we can't fix homelessness.
Well, in that case, the Democrats' pivot should be to go more socialist.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with.
Yes, they should. That's what everybody's saying.
Bernie.
That's what everybody's saying.
Because the Republican solution to what you just described is going to be
deregulating
more capitalism.
All right, so first of all, let me just say this guy right here in the bottom right corner of the screen, he's the real MVP of this video because he just boiled it down to its pure ingredients and said, well, the answer is more socialism. The Democrats should be more socialist. So this guy's based as fuck. I love the reaction of the producer here, too. I'm going to play it for you one more time because watch the reaction of the producer as if to be like, obviously that's correct.
Well, in that case, the Democrats' pivot should be to go more.
So look at the guy wearing the Yankees hat, that producer. Watch.
Socialist.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with.
Yes, they should. That's what everybody's saying.
Bernie.
That's what everybody's saying.
Because the Republican solution to what you just described is going to be
deregulating
more capitalism, deregulation.
This clip is largely correct. It's largely correct. The point that's not true is at the beginning, and it kind of triggers me to no end these days, because I really don't like, given the speed with which the Trump people are moving and how everything they're doing is fucking horrible for the country, it is not a tenable position to say both parties are the same. That is just factually not accurate.
It is factually quite accurate. Like, this is what I mean. Like, how? All right, let's find out why he thinks it's not accurate. I'm also going to come back to the point about socialism, because that is a word that's exploited by both sides. Okay? Jesus was... No, I'm not going to do because, like, them's left in it. Jesus is a liberal. Jesus is a social. Like, shut up. We don't need to do that. But it is a word that is exploited. But let's see what Kyle has to say.
Under Biden, for example, he did a great job with the NLRB and union policies. He did when it came to the CHIPS Act, when it came to the Inflation Reduction Act, when it came to the infrastructure bill. They were creating 800,000 manufacturing jobs. So to say that party is the same as the one who Trump in his first term lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs and we're losing more now. Those things are not the same, and that's just one example. Biden signed an executive order to raise the minimum wage for federal contractors and employees. It impacted hundreds of thousands of workers. Trump literally signed an executive order to revoke that and lower the pay of those people. It's not the same. Stop saying it's not the same. It's just not. And it's the lazy, like, I don't follow this stuff closely, both sidesism that triggers me to no end these days. So that very first part is not true. You have to be willing to say, yes, the Democrats are way better than the Republicans, and it's actually not particularly close. Now, having said that, do the Democrats massively fall short of where they need to be? Yes, they do. You have to say that first part, But on the second part, yes, they fall short.
All
And
right, so that's enough for Kyle because this is not a Democratic channel. This is not a Republican channel either. This is an Inconvenient Truth channel, and the Inconvenient Truth stands with none of these labels, right? Because they're all like, look, they're all pretty much, I don't want to say gaslighting us, but you know, they sell us. They sell us a dream and a vision and tell us that they can help us out, but they really don't. And I mean, that's people, right? So listen, coming back to the point of socialism, right? I do believe in socialism. I do. Not the way that Democrats believe in, oh, we're going to take the richest person, we're going to strip them of everything and then give it to other people. No. I also don't believe in capping how much somebody can make. No. I still believe in tax loopholes. Yes. However, I do believe in a way of distribution that I don't know if I've quite gotten my finger on it yet. But if like the country was actually producing, if we were actually net exporters instead of importers, we don't export anything except for like data and everything. And which, by the way, exporting digital data and all of that, that's actually not an issue for me if we were doing more. Because we could be doing more. But instead what we do is like we go and we take from others and then import what we take. We don't keep enough for ourselves. We were the largest exporter of oil. We were taking oil and then giving it out, and then we had oil issues ourselves, and our gas prices were going high. You see, and they'll say that's capitalism. That's not capitalism. That's crony. That's like, what that is like just like greedy people with their own kind of religion on the top. And I'm not talking about the religion that you guys probably think I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the religion of like loving themselves kind of thing, right? All right. Anywho. But I do believe that a country should take care of the people. Not everybody's going to be big, corporate owners. However, not one person should be going without a place to live. That does not mean, though, that I believe that people who are on drugs should just do drugs and still have some place to live on the street. No. So there's a way. And this is extreme kind of talk. But Democrats definitely fall completely short. You know what they do? They tell you that your identity matters more than anything else. Oh, because you're black, we need to get rid of law and order. And then you got black folk in the hood like, yo, bring the cops back. I'm being terrorized by my neighbors. Republicans tell you they believe in a constitution, but for a small country that Ben Shapiro loves, they will destroy universities and say they're doing it for woke. But in fact, they're gutting the First Amendment. So you see what I'm saying? Both sides have their lies. Both sides are just a mess. It needs to all be redone. I do believe in the children are our future because I've heard refreshing arguments from younger people.
There's a lot of criticisms of Biden arming and funding the genocide in Gaza, for one. But there's a bunch of them that we can make, which...
Don't worry, Trump is doing it too.
Are really substantive criticisms. But the second part of the clip, that is undeniably accurate. And all it took was one conversation with Bernie Sanders. And now these guys are like, well, hold on. Can we do socialism? Is socialism on the menu? Can we do socialism? Can we do a massive redistribution of wealth from the robber barons and the billionaires and the plutocrats and give that money in the form of a great social safety net to working class people? Can we do universal health care? Can we do free college? Can we wipe out the medical debt? Can we wipe out the student loan debt? Can we have unionization rates and a higher minimum wage? One conversation with Bernie, and now everybody in that room is like, so actually the Democrats should become more socialist, not less socialist. And
no, not communists, okay? Not you're just going to come and take they did that to me. And I am not forgetting that anytime soon. Okay? They sat there and told me with Obamacare, that's probably the most socialist thing I've ever, or whatever they call that, right? They said, we're going to take from the rich and give to the poor. Star Jones went on the tape and said, on the camera, and said, hey, I don't mind. I'll pay a little bit more health insurance so that other people can get, health insurance. And I was like, oh my God, that is so pretty cool. Awesome. And then I found out they were talking about me. Somebody who was busting her behind on a cart as an LPN, doing doubles and triples, whatever, just to be able to pay my bills. And my insurance tripled simply because I was living on my own and I wasn't making pennies on a dollar. Simply because I went to work and made something of myself. That was my first introduction to Democrat socialism. No, I think not. Okay? Miss me with that. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.